Greetings to all of humanity. It's really a joy, it's a pleasure, it's always an honor to be greeting all my people out there who've been vibrating with this message of self-realization, whereby I'm pointing you all to look no other place but to look inwardly to discover that your real identity is your divinity. Now, before I speak on the topic, I just want to remind each and everyone concerning the Know Jesus Bible, because Christ is an experience and you are the one who would have that experience. Okay, and I don't want to go too much into it, but I want to encourage you to get the 66 books of magic, the Overcomer's Bible, so you'll be able to do Bible studies with me, because very soon I'm going to start Bible studies with those who would have purchased the books, and they'll be able to follow along, and they'll be able also to put their name where Jesus used to be written. Many people have all different kind of meaning for what Jesus means and all of this shit, but it's all bullshit. Okay, someone commented saying, well, Jesus means I am salvation. You can never say I am and not referring to your damn self. Okay, so I don't want to get into all of that. Okay, this is just for the chosen ones. It is for those who are willing to go further and those who want to get rid of the white man idol and see their God self. Okay, so with that being said, now let me go into what I really want to speak to you about. I want to speak to you concerning the semen retention bullshit that is blowing up all over the internet, because many people are follow suiting. And there are many false, woke, so-called teachers and gurus on the internet. And you have to be very, very careful, and you have to have discernment. Now, anyone with common sense would know that the most sexually active people on the face of the earth are melanated people. And anyone with common sense will look around and see the environment reflects melanated people. The very complexion of my skin is the complexion of the earth. And all of the riches, all of everything that we depend on in this world, it comes from the earth. And then when you look at melanated people and the sun, you see how much the sun resonates with us more than any other one on the face of this earth. You realize that we are the sun people, and the sun is what powers all of humanity, and the sun is what gives us all of our creativity also. That is why we need to be connected to the sun, as in the S-U-N, not the S-O-N. Those who come to you give you a S-O-N to make you believe in a S-O-N instead of the S-U-N, because the S-U-N is the giver of our life. Therefore, my brother and my sisters, we who are more conscious are to use our semen to create our reality consciously. So if you want to discharge your semen, you're going to discharge your semen intentionally with wisdom and understanding of this creative power, of this energy that lies at the root chakra, okay, at the root, at the lower part. Now, when you have that understanding, you will realize that when you go into the act of sex, you're not going to the act of sex for pleasure. You're going into the act of sex to create. Because the same semen that you want to retain is the same semen that brought you here. Let's say your parents, they choose to say, okay, I'm just going to retain. I'm going to retain. Okay. Then you wouldn't be in the express here. Also, you have to realize that everything first starts with a thought. Therefore, we are thought evolved being. Therefore, common sense will teach you, if you have the right thought when you're discharging, then it will be more beneficial to you. If you are more awake and more enlightened and more aware, you will want to reproduce one after your own kind, because the law of reproduction is that every seed and every species must and will all reproduce after its own kind. So if you're more enlightened and you're more aware, it means that you can bring forth a more enlightened child into the world. Not one who believe in secular Christianity and believe in Jesus worshiping a white man. That's why Christians are breeding back more Christians. Someone who believe and depend on academic education and you grow up in, let's say, a middle class family, they're going to raise their children to become the same thing. To love to work. Like for example in my country, people in my country still believe if you work in the bank, you have a big work. So they're going to teach their children to go to school and get education and go get a work in the bank. And then when you check who own the bank, it's the same slave master from way back still own the bank. So, my brother and my sisters, let us not just follow suit, because a lot of people just follow suit in. And you see, because many of them, they suffer from a disease called parrotism. You see, a parrot always repeat what they hear other people say. Many who are teaching, they have never had any inner experience at all. And I want to say this, okay? And I'm not saying this to elevate myself in any way. I want to say that had it been that I would have had prior knowledge concerning spirituality and enlightenment and chakras and kemet and this and that, had it been I had any prior knowledge, I do not believe I would have bounced my crown chakra and go beyond the skull, go beyond the 7th chakra, go into the 9th dimension. I do not believe I would have reached that place. Because you see, intellectualism and too much learning, it plays with your ego. And we are living in an age where the warfare is different. It's a warfare whereby intellectualism versus experience. So as long as they can keep you in intellectualism and they can have you as far as actually here within the throat chakra, okay, or even the heart chakra, even the solar plexus chakra, even keeping you down where the sacral chakra is, keep it down to the root chakra, you're still right here in the animalistic level still. Okay, because a parrot could even speak. A parrot could repeat back what you hear someone says. But when you start to dwell here, there is another level of intelligence. But still, there's more higher place to go. Because you still have the crown chakra and you have to now go beyond the crown chakra. So people are speaking about these chakras, but when they reach the 7th chakra, many people, they put a full stop right there because that's the farthest some people know of. But you can go right into the 9th dimension, right into the power of 9, your Christ self, the resurrected one, the one who had the virgin birth. Okay, so let me go back to the semen retention thing. Yes, if you retain semen for a little bit, say a week, 2 weeks and so on, and you go in the gym and you normally lift weights, of course you feel a bit more stronger, more energized. But on the other hand, if you have sex in the day or in the evening, say 6 o'clock, okay, around there, you get something to eat after you finish. If you have sex in the day, you eat afterwards. Revitalize your body. But so much people, they get so caught up in the flesh realm that they allow themselves to be drained and so tired, and then they go to sleep instead of get something to eat and revitalize their body. And as a matter of fact, if they send out their intention with their ejaculation, they will not feel so weak because they send it out intentionally. Now, my brother, my sisters, as time go by, I'm going to go into the scripture in Genesis and show you the story of Judah and Tamar and Sheila and Onan. And when Onan spilled, right, his sperm, and explain that to you and show you that it tells you I'm going to kill him, claiming that he was wicked, and I will break all of that to you and explain all of that to you. You see, my brother, my sisters, if you do not reach a certain level of consciousness, someone can take that same scripture and quote it for you and use it as a way to tell you about semen retention. Before they give you porn, to use your energy without any common sense and any understanding, without sending it out with any real intention, with no goal in mind, but lust. And then they give you the family planning. They give the women family planning. Then they give the men condoms. Now the last thing they're doing is give the women C-section. And we are the most procreative, if I should use a word, if there's such a word as procreative people on the face of the earth. There's none that can procreate like us. And when you read about the story of Moses in the Bible, and it tells you that the people, the chosen people who were enslaved, and I'm not speaking about literally now, because I don't believe the Bible is literal, okay, and I don't teach it literal. I could go into it and show you what Moses means and all of that. It said that the Hebrew women was what? They were producing so much. What the people in the earth produce so much? That's why you see that you have Hebrew Israelites and so on, because they look at it so literal. And fail to realize everything is mental, everything is for psychological. And not until you fix here that you can really be a true Hebrew Israelite. That's what they want to, how they want to term it. Okay? That's when you can rule as God. You have to fix here first. So my brother and my sisters, all those who are running after semen retention and bragging and boasting about how long they hold in semen retention, it's all bullshit. I'm saying release it with intention. Release it to create your reality consciously. Release it to help to wake up more people like yourself. Release it on behalf of another. You want to see your family members and so on get out of the church system. You want to see them, they wake up. You want to see them getting rid of all of the idolatry they've been practicing in their life. You want to see better for them. Release it. We are people. We could all sex the rest of all the races in the world. Because of our we have a higher sex drive than everybody else. We were not the one who invented Viagra. But if you want that kind of potency, get the sunlight, drink pure water, and fix your mind. So a lot of youngsters just get caught up in the semen retention thing and so on. If semen retention was making you more spiritual, I would have been the most spiritual man on the face of this earth. Though I am spiritual, and though I would have had the experience of the birth from the skull, but it didn't come because of semen retention. And I've had many experiences of semen retention, especially when I was in Christianity, sometimes all 5 years, 6 years, no sex, and no masturbation either. As a matter of fact, at my very young age, when I was in my teens, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, around to 22, that's 6 years right there, I remember quite vividly, no sex and no masturbation. Youngsters in my community used to judge me for masturbation and say I had to be masturbating, and I wasn't masturbating. So my brother, my sister, if you control your mind, you don't need to be doing all of these things and trying to prove something. Naturally, you know when to have sex, when not to have sex, when to release, when not to release. If semen retention will help you to get so powerful, then all the richest men in the world is semen retention they're practicing. Is semen retention Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and all of these other people, semen retention they're practicing? Man, all of that is bullshit. And people need to know the truth. And as time go by, I go into the Bible and open up all of these things and show you these things. You have to embrace your sexuality. And you have to use your sexuality wisely. That's the point I'm trying to get across to my brothers out there who think that they are woke and just picking up information all over the place. You have to learn to control yourself in such a way that when you're having sex, you can keep your intention in your mind. See your intention in your mind's eye and send it out. Why not use it for us to wake up? All the people around the world who look like us, who need to wake up. Why can't you talk about that? Talk about you retaining semen and then fuck up that shit. Use it to wake up your brothers and your sisters. So they wouldn't have to come back here over and over and over and over again, living in this fucking hell. I think I say enough. I'll just end it here. But let me, before I leave you, I just want to say to you, I couldn't bring this message to you unless, first of all, I would have experienced the birth from the skull. And that's why I always say to you that this message I bring to you, that it is the single eye message of self-realization, which Matthew 6:22 says that if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. And had there been that a single eye open within me, when I heard the unearthly wind, after that great almighty shaking, and I ascend as a fiery beam and exit my skull and became invisible, I would have been here bringing this message to you. That's why I always say to you, do not let anyone tell you that the single eye, the eye above the pyramid and the US, that is an evil symbol. No, it is the all-seeing eye of God in you, who is your imagination, for you will have an awakened imagination. And you will come to realize that it is the rising of the S-U-N in a S-O-N. And that is the dawning of a new day in your life. And that is why I always give you the symbol of the single eye with my hand above my crown chakra, saying to you that the sun is in the S-U-N, that it parallels the human imagination parallels the sun. For without the sun there is no life and there is no light, and without the human imagination there isn't anything made that was made. Also you're told that the Lord thy God is a sun, as in a S-U-N. It's Psalm 84:11, and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. And the Son has never withhold any good thing from humanity, especially those of us who are so melanated. And in Malachi chapter 4 and verse 2, you're told also that the Son, as in the S-U-N, of righteousness shall arise in you with healing in his wings. That light shall arise in you. That's why I'm bringing healing to all of humanity by pointing each and every one to look inwardly and to use their mind power, which is their solar power, their sun power, their God power, their creative power, which is actually the sexual power. Use that power to achieve your every desire. Before I end here, let me say that if you want to support this work, you can reach out to us by way of Patreon or by way of what's the next thing? PayPal. Okay? So with that being said, my brother and my sister, I want to thank you very much. I want to say peace, love you all. Out.